useless. The prophet Jeremiah was talking about the hard-heartedness of the people of God in Israel when he said in Jeremiah 13, these wicked people who refuse to listen to my words, who follow the stubbornness of their hearts and go after other gods to serve and worship them, will be like this belt, completely useless. I want to build a foundation of what Jeremiah is talking about. He took a cloth, he took an article of clothing, and he buried it in the ground with the belt. It was actually more of a satchel than a belt. And over time, he dug up the belt and the satchel, and he held it up before the people of Israel, and he said, look at this satchel, look at this belt. You are just like it. You are just so showboaty. Everything, your relationship is just for a show. I can't even put it on. It's decayed. It's worthless. Sometimes we do things just for show in our relationships. In our relationship with Jesus Christ, we are like that satchel, a sash, where we put it on, and it serves no purpose except for it looks good. And sometimes we do that in our relationship with Jesus Christ. We just put it on because it looks good. But it's totally useless. God can't use someone who just looks good. You got to be broken inside. You got to have something of substance inside of you. A true follower of Christ are broken people. Even though we do not wallow in depression, but we see that we are nothing without Christ and surrender all of ourselves to Him to be used for His purpose. My question for you today is, will you let God break you? Will you let Him do the work inside of you where He tears down all of your idols and all of the issues and all the prides in your life so that He can be used, that you can be used by Him? And maybe this morning you are broken. Go ahead, babe. Maybe this morning you are broken and you feel like God has totally abandoned you. You feel like you are in the deserts of life. You feel like Humpty Dumpty and nothing you can do will ever make you whole again. And life will never be the same. That's where God wants you. God can only use you when you say, you are the only thing that matters in my life. Jesus said in Matthew 11:28, it says, come to me all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. So what's it going to be? Are you going to allow God to work inside of you? Are you going to tear down those idols that we have inside of us, those things we look more upon than we do with God? Let me tell you, I have to be broken pretty often. And I admit that. A lot of times I begin to look at myself and my own selfish ambitions and my own pride, and God has to break me. God had to break me before this sermon. Maybe there's someone here tonight that you are broken because of circumstances in life. And it's only through the healing of Jesus Christ will you become well again. That you can be used by Him. Altars are open. God is calling you to more than what we're doing today. More than the way that we live in our lives today. What is God saying to you? You know, it is easier to say, I am broken, God make me whole, than to say, God break me. It's really hard to say, God break me. It's a lot easier to say, God, make me whole when I'm already broken. It's not human nature to let God take care or let God do something in our lives. I tell the kids often, I'm not going to guilt you into coming to the altar. Whatever God is saying to you, I want you to respond to that.